speaker is Tiago. Okay, I forgot to put this one down. So Tiago is actually our colleague from Portugal. Welcome to the stage. He's a senior Java developer in Jobcloud team, and he will also do the introduction part. But I will just give you like a short intro for his presentation, because this was the first time that we actually conducted internal survey for a TX conference presentation. So what you will hear and see here today is actually the data from our organization. I think it's interesting. We will definitely have a lot of discussion after the presentation. So Tiago, thank you for being here, first of all, and the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. So I am here to talk about the impact of generative AI on the daily habits of developers. First, a little bit then about myself. I am a 33-year-old software developer from the beautiful city of Viana do Castelo, Portugal, which I'm sure none of you have ever heard of. If you ever go to Porto, you can just keep driving north and you will reach this. This is a picture that I took myself from my hometown, so you are very welcome there. As Milica said, I am working for Jobcloud. There are some Jobcloud employees here. If you don't know about Jobcloud and what we do, we are the leading platform for job advertising in Switzerland. 9 out of 10 people know our portals. You can see in this graph the whole array of portals that we support. We currently employ around 400 people globally, with the most recent team being, of course, the Portuguese team, Jobcloud Programmatic, which I'm a part of. What do we do? Without bothering you too much, programmatic is the concept of paying for performance on job ads and minimizing human intervention. What does that mean? If you think about classical advertising, like on a newspaper or something, you would pay for a placement. You pay for X amount of time, you give X amount of money, and maybe you get results, maybe you don't. With programmatic, the goal is, okay, you have some goal to hire some people, you have a budget, and you trust the software to distribute the advertisement through our portals, and we will handle everything, and you will just pay for it. So what am I doing here in this AI-centric conference? Well, as Milos, as Stefan said, I am also waiting for AI to do my laundry. It's not doing it yet, but I'm a bit more accepting of the reality that it is everywhere, and developers are using it. So what I'm interested on is how it is impacting our habits. So I will give you some of my perspective, as Milica said, some perspective of the survey that we sent, and also some online data to show this impact. So what we know currently is that generative AI has been flooding everything. From the GitHub, from the Stack Overflow's survey of 2023, we know that around 70% of developers report using AI tools in some capacity. And sorry for being looking at the big screen, but that one is a bit small, and I cannot see it. With 77% of people being favorable or very favorable about this usage of AI tools on development. What we see from the surveys also is that the big driver for using these tools is increasing productivity when you use these tools. But interestingly, only 42% of people actually trust the output of the tools, while 31% are on the fence, and the rest, of course, are positive. This tells us that while people are using it, they don't really trust it all that much currently. And now it's not moving, Milica. I think it stopped. Oh, it's good now. Okay, sorry about that. Uh, from this same survey, we can see that an overwhelming majority of people are using generative AI tools. And what I mean by generative AI tools, I should have introduced that before, it's tools like ChatGPT. Um, and the overwhelming majority of people are actually writing code using these tools, which was a bit surprising for me, as I would expect more of the debugging part and the testing part that comes after, and even documenting and, interestingly, learning. So talking with the AI to learn about tools. To better help you understand how we use these tools, if you're not technical, this is an example usage of GitHub Copilot, one of the big tools nowadays, because you can use it on your development software directly. You can just attach the file that you're working on and ask the AI, improve this, or I would like to do something with this file. What I did here in this example was I had a test class in Java. It was getting a bit long, a bit repetitive. So I just asked Copilot, I don't like this length and repetition, but this is important for code coverage. So do you have some suggestions? And in a couple of seconds, I have some suggestions on how to improve it, and even the output of completely rewritten class based on my code. Well, this is all very fine and dandy until you see that code, you pick it up, you copy and paste into yours, but it's not working. So the output actually reduced the lines in about 60%, and it was a bit more readable. But it was missing some of the test cases. It was also calling some incorrect methods. So you have to keep working with the AI. What is interesting when there is an active conversation with the AI is that you can do additional queries. You can say, you missed this test stopped working. Maybe you can tell it that, okay, I'm using Java 11, I'm using Java 21, and that will maybe fix the prompt. In this example, what I did was 4 additional queries until I got a fully working class. Uh, I didn't got the 60% improvement, but I got 40% less lines, and I think a better approach after I use it. So, using these kinds of tools, of course, makes some shifts in our habits. Um, what are these shifts? Well, for me, one thing that is quite interesting is having a conversation with the AI before having some discussion with the team. So let's say you will have a discussion about architecture, about some refactoring. You can ask the AI for some ideas, and maybe you are not so comfortable in one topic. You can have a conversation directly with the AI that will be a lot smoother than searching for it and faster. And you can give it additional context. AI is very nice when generating repetitive and simple code. That is just a fact. When you want to boilerplate something, you can just ask the AI and it will do these simple tasks very, very quickly. One thing that I like a lot is simplifying existing code. So AI is very good at seeing patterns that we are not so good at, or so quick at least. So if you have some very complex code, ask the AI, how can I simplify this? And it will probably give you some good ideas while keeping all your functionality intact. And of course, this will lead to improving the existing code and exploring new approaches organically. What are some gains and concerns when using these tools? So according to GitHub's 2022 Copilot study, developers reported that were increasing coding speed in 55% when using these tools. Another study by Microsoft research team found that developers that use GitHub Copilot and similar tools have reduced time to commit by nearly half. So it goes into the first one also. Time to commit is just time until from when you get the task for when you actually commit it. Additionally, there's a survey by the McKinsey company that found that 37% of developers using AI tools spend more time on design and problem solving than coding and debugging, because they freed up some time by using these tools. Of course, not everything is flowers, and there is a lot of concern on over reliance on these tools, mainly if you are a junior developer and you are very accustomed, you were raised with these tools, and you are not doing some problem solving that you typically would have been doing in the past, and this might affect your critical debugging and problem solving skills. These are two studies that report some kind of those results. What you can see from the studies is that the numbers don't quite match up, even though it's only 1 year apart. And what I will say is still a bit early to actually have any sort of concrete data on long-term effects of using these technologies on our daily life. There is also, of course, ethical, legal, and quality considerations to consider, because while there is potential for improving, there is a lot of potential also for compromising your code. If you overtrust the AI and you don't test your code very well, you might be compromising your solution. And additionally, when you are using free tools, especially, uh, mainly you are the product. So your data is also being scraped. And when you are in professional context, you probably don't want to share code that is from your company. There is also ethical considerations when using these tools and not human-made code, let's say. There are biases that might not be visible for you. Uh, Nowadays, there is also a lot of laws coming into place, so you have to comply with the laws and you with your internal company policies. Uh, and as I said before, there are a lot of concerns over data scraping when using free tools mainly. So, going into our internal survey, and thank you for everyone who asked, who answered it. These are my main takeaways. So only less than 2% said that they never use generative AI tools. This is a huge usage of these tools in the company. We can see that ChatGPT is very widely used, with 86% of people saying that they use it, which I'm sure will trigger some security people here. Uh, GitHub Copilot comes in second with 25% usage. Interestingly, internal GPT comes with 13%, which I guess is a lot of Jobcloud people, since we have our GPT-Q. The highest usage was as a search engine and information validation, which is very nice. It's what you should be using it for. But more than half of people also admit for some code generation using these tools. And there's a lot of usage on improving texts. So some people are not very comfortable with grammar or with how they write. And this is a very common usage. They ask AI, make my text better. Um, One of the main gains that people reported was reducing time on repetitive tasks, with 65% answering this. 45% of people report no change in their learning habits, which means that more than half actually report some change in learning habits. And 85% report no influence on how they collaborate with other team members. In conclusion, the industry really rapidly accepted these tools. If you look back 2 years, 3 years, even 1 year, there was not a lot of trust on it. But nowadays, everyone uses it. It's very normal. You want to bootstrap something, ask ChatGPT to do it for you. And people are growing in their trust for these tools, and we need to now be very careful how we use them. So it's important to understand the strengths, but also the pitfalls. As for TX employees, they are using it daily. They are using them in diverse areas. So there were a lot of respondents outside of the development teams. Most people have a positive outlook on them, and TX employees are working better and faster because of these tools. Thank you very much.
Ah, I would never be a singer. This is too complicated. Well done, Tiago. Thank you for the lovely presentation. Guys, do you have any question? I'm here. Anybody? You're not concerned at all? Okay, for those 2% of the people who are not using, I can make a guess from our team who is that person.
Maybe they are lying.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah, Tamara. Okay.
I think people are too concerned.
Yeah,
You have a
I
question?
am. I mean, I'm a bit worried about the thing that we are actually not learning anything, that we are just using it, and we are not interested how the things work in the background. So, yeah, Matthias, just a second. There you go.
I have a question. So you work at Jobcloud, so you're on the forefront of all the recruiting and hiring going on in the world. And I still can't believe how backwards and stupid hiring still is today. It's like you create a CV and a cover letter and like, I don't know, and then you apply to 100 jobs or 200 jobs, 500 jobs, and then you have interviews and you have to fill out forms. And it's like, I really can't believe this is still the reality today. But now we have AI and you work at JobCloud. So when are we finally going to have super AI powered job matching that finds my perfect job?
Well, I will say it's a job in progress. But we are, of course, we have some AI initiatives, of course, but it's not our focus on the programmatic team for sure. But our unit is, in a way, to tackle what you mentioned. In traditional advertisement, what people will do is they pay for 1 week of placement in this page and they wait for the best. They just want to see the views, and this is not so helpful. With programmatic, what we want is you to set your goals. So what is important for us, and even if you ask David about this, he will say that the goal is if you put an advertisement, the goal is to hire someone. So it doesn't matter that you have 100 clicks on your advertisement. You want to reach the person that you will hire. So when software handles how it shows and what it shows to people, the smarter it gets, the better we can target. So if I can just show the ad to one person, but that person applies and is hired, that is ideal. I don't need 1,000 views on my ad. So that's what programmatic tries
So when do
to
you
achieve.
ship?
We ship. We are already live, but we are still improving, and we have lots of things on the pipeline. Thank you.
Thank you. But we can maybe ask you later, how would you resolve this problem? Yeah, I mean, but you're a product manager, right? Good. Anybody else? Do you guys use ChatGPT? Seriously, nobody? Come on.
Where is security and compliance?
Only 2% of the company. Yeah, right. So, what also triggers me, it was the question about changing habits, but in terms of collaboration with other people. For me personally, it helps sometimes to sort of a brainstorm and to exchange idea with ChatGPT, which is bad in a way, but usually nobody's available at like 11 p.m. to brainstorm. But I'm also curious about that part, and this maybe is not a question only for you, but also for the audience as well. What do you guys think about that? Did your habits actually change because of the use of the ChatGPT? For example, I'm mentioning ChatGPT because it's the most used tool. Nobody wants to talk.
For me,
Okay.
what I think is it's important to make sure that you still use the human part. So if you use the tools to improve how then you communicate the human part, then you are using it for the better. So if it will enable you to have a better conversation after, so sure, have a chat with ChatGPT first.
Yeah, yeah, agree. Anybody else with a question?